Something went wrong.
I don't know. It says you have issues. We all know you have issues.
I don't know. I think we're...
Guess what, world? We're live. It's no-brainer. No-brainer. With your host, Big Daddy Zak, and my compadre,
Little
my
Daddy.
mi amigo, my homie, D-Rex.
Little Daddy.
Little Daddy. You look little. You look like a midget today because your camera's aimed at the ceiling instead of your head.
Really?
Why is your camera so high? Big Daddy Zak and my... Why do I hear myself talking?
Because I put the live stream on just to test that it's going through.
You did not. You doubted me?
No, I did not doubt you. I just like to see what's happening.
Did you not have faith?
I've got plenty.
The faith. I gotta have faith. There it is. I'm looking at it on Facebook right meow.
All right.
All right. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Hello, world. Hello, everybody else. What's shaking like a lagging? Happy Tuesday PM. I'm all thrown off because you need to move your camera down. Down. Okay. I'm all thrown off because we were off for a holiday yesterday. Hope everybody had a really good... There you go.
You were
a great Memorial Day. What'd you do for Memorial Day, Derek?
Worked. Sat in a sweaty cutting room and cut out tint for 20 vehicles and ran them.
I cut your tent.
Huh?
I did it. I cut your tent. That's what I did.
Yes. I ran the business that I pay people for free.
Isn't that nice of them?
Yes.
I'm nice to you.
It's called hell.
Welcome to hell. I was gonna invite you over. We were having steaks, but I figured you were working, and
as long as you're eating around 8, we're good, man.
You called me. What time was that? I don't remember, but I was grilling.
4 something, I think. 4:35.
It was just me and Lorianne and my buddy Bob.
Something like that.
What about Bob? Bob spelled backwards is Bob.
What about Bob?
Hey, Bob. What'd your wife do all day yesterday?
I don't know.
Did you not talk to her? Did she get
No, I am not one of those people who talks to my wife on the phone all day at work. I can't stand that stuff.
When you get home,
absolutely,
you guys relax and chat.
But my wife is because she'll be laying out at the pool or something. So, I might get home and okay, if I get home at 5, she'll be out of the pool and I haven't eaten yet, right? Not all day, right. So it ain't gonna be 30 seconds for me running out there and be like, "Hey, let's discuss the day." I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna cook me something right now."
You're psychotic because you eat once a day.
No, I just don't eat at work, man. I don't do the whole work eating thing.
I do. I pack a lunch and I eat while I drive.
Yeah, I know. Most people do. I'm not saying it. Just for me, when I eat, I shit immediately 5 minutes after. It's just a rule.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. So this is why but it's really easy because people are like, "Oh, you're so weird. You don't eat at work." I go, "Okay, let's do a day where I do, and then you'll have fun." But no, you know what I'm saying? So I just figure that if I don't eat at work, I save, 15 to 30 minutes eating, and then probably 15 minutes or more in the bathroom, pee and pooping, and I have more energy because you know how it goes when you're fasting. Your body is running off energy stores instead of trying to, burn sugar all the time. And
I eat a protein bar for mid-morning snack. Then I have a meal bar for lunch. And then I have a little Atkins snacky poo. And then that's it till I get home. Then we have dinner. I only do about 1,700 calories a day. You would think I would be as skinny as you. For some reason, my body does not want to shed. It wants to get swole.
If it's...
Have you seen that guy on YouTube Facebook called Papa Swolio?
Papa Swolio? No, I'm going to look up Papa Swolio.
He's the one who says, "Go to the effing gym. Go to the effing gym." He's got real long hair and he's jacked. Oh, but Papa, I'm sore. Go to the gym. He's pretty funny.
Papa Swolio on Reels. I have never seen this guy ever, but he looks like an
angry man with a cup of coffee yelling at the camera.
Yeah.
Yep. That's him.
Let me see this thing. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. You see this?
Yep, that's Papa Swolio.
That's. Yeah, I can't hear him. I don't know how to use Facebook, but how do I use Facebook?
Well, don't.
So essentially, right here, he's just saying, "Hey, you go to the gym."
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Keep it up, fam.
Okay.
Go. You look. You look good. You've been putting in the work. I'm proud of you. You've been going to the gym. Juicy. It's paying off. Keep it up, fam.
Wow.
Yeah, he does these videos, and now he like has his own workout program that he does, and you switch the layout. So let me fix it. There we go. I don't know if it really matters.
That's cool how that thing, the share screen thing, just kind of splits the screen. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. I'm pretty, I'm not horribly unimpressed with Riverside. I think it does a pretty good job. I know at first you had your doubts, but I think we've ironed a lot of the problems out.
Well, I think my doubts, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't my doubts along the lines of distribution?
Well, that's why we had to. So Riverside is.
But I think we've kind of given up on distribution.
No, Riverside's the recording platform.
I know.
Libsyn is the distribution platform.
I know.
Which, FYI, I have to open up another account. So there you go. Life in the podcasting, kids, just get ready to spend some dough.
Oh, what do you say between equipment and? I mean, it's your choice to have a coach, right? That's kind of a luxurious expense.
2 coaches. I have 2.
That's it. So okay, so that's a luxurious expense, and then your microphones, and camera. What they were like $200 each.
If you wanted to, I have 2 microphones. If you wanted to go to the Olympics, Derek, would you have a coach or would you just practice in your backyard?
Are you really saying that to me?
Oh, we're going for the gold. So why would I?
I'm like the guy who literally gets pissed every day about quality improvement and mimicking what
you're
the
giving me a hard time
people
about a coach. I'm just saying.
So I've been to the Olympics and I didn't get a coach.
You were in the Special Olympics.
No, I was just in the Spectator Olympics.
You don't need a coach.
Did not require a coach.
Where to sit, how to sit, up, down, sit, practice. Here it is. Sit. Here's the seat. Look for the good one. Which Olympics did you go to? Oh, you were in Brazil, weren't you?
No, we're here.
I can't see. It's fuzzy. Your camera's fuzzy.
No, it's not. I got
Paris.
a 4K camera, bro.
Paris.
This was
a little gay Paris.
That was the Summer Games last year.
Yeah, that was the most recent one. I was going to say.
We saw the 200 meter with Noah Lyles, where he's from Claremont. Noah Lyles literally lives 15 minutes from you, by the way, right between us.
He lives where?
Huh?
He lives where?
They live like Claremont, Mineola, kind of like kind of like where 50 and 429 are. So
50 and 429, that'd be Winter Garden.
Okay, it's kind of
that's 20 minutes, but yeah, okay.
Maybe I'll say 27 and 50, whatever. So
well, then that's an hour, or about 45 minutes away.
No, it's not, dude.
From my house,
so I can drive to your house on the highway in 27 minutes, and I can drive to Noah Lyles' house in 20 minutes.
My house to Bob's house, he lives on 27 south of 50. Is 42 minutes, if not.
So how 45. Come I live farther south than that, and I can get to your house?
You take the one straight shot. I got to go the back way because it takes me a different way.
Okay, so
actually takes me to 429 to Avalon, I think, and I cut through Stony Brook and all that.
Mm-hmm. That's right by my house.
Where all the circles are.
Yeah, yep. Isn't that east and west though?
I have to go that way to get to Claremont because Claremont is west of me.
So tell me why my camera is so blurry.
Because you're moving too much. I don't know.
Because it says 99% uploaded, but 1080p.
I don't know.
So I'm just,
Let it settle.
I'm wondering why
around,
it's not on 4K.
I think because we're live and you can't do 4K on live, maybe.
Or maybe we need to maybe need even a greater, a higher version of.
I know what you're gonna say. No, we don't. And actually, yes, if they want you, they said if you want to upload faster, you can upgrade your package. I was like, my package is just fine, thank you.
Oh, the live studio. Yeah, okay. Their packages, these company upgrade packages just do not make any sense to me.
That's how they make
It's
dough,
it's like you can jump from standard to pro for an extra like $12, or you could just stay at standard with a live studio for 15. It's like, so what one do I do? Or you could just do both.
How about the other one?
What do you mean?
Can buy the small package on Libsyn for $20 a month, or you can upgrade and go to 14 hours versus 10 for whatever it is a month, or you can just buy 2 small packages, then you have 20 hours. I'm like, what?
Well, the upgrade goes from 10 to 14 and the price doubles.
Right.
So that poses the question of why wouldn't you just buy 2 smaller packages? 10 and 10 equals 20 for. Do you want 14 for $40 a month or 20 for $40 a month?
When the vodka hits just
That's like shopping at Costco. You come out of there with a pallet of ketchup and you're like, look how much I saved. And then you look at you go, cool, bro. So you go buy yourself a Costco membership and you buy your 60 count of eggs and then your 10 pounds of oats and you're cool, and then you go to look at the ketchup and you're like, you can get a pallet of ketchup for like, I don't know, 15 cents an ounce, whatever it is. I don't know what ketchup costs per ounce, but then you just go to Walmart and get like the same Heinz ketchup in like a tiny little 24-ounce bottle for like 13 cents an ounce.
I am a very
It's true. It's true.
I love Costco.
It's true.
I don't know. I love Costco. So when I was at why is it so freaking hot in my house? Good Lord. Anyway, when I'm just looking at my thermostat, I'm like, why is it so hot in here? I'm sweating. When I was up in Jersey, after my father passed away, I went up to Jersey for a while to help my mom out because she was going through that whole widow's thing. I'm selling everything. I'm done. I'm like, all right, settle down, lady. Crazy lady, turn it down a notch. And so I went up there and I was working for Saab BMW, used car manager for them. And my days off were Fridays and Sundays because in Jersey, dealerships can't be open on Sundays. And Sunday was the day I spent with the female friend I had up there. And Fridays was my day. And Fridays, I would actually go to Costco. That was my sanctuary. I would go to Costco and just walk around the store, get all the free samples. This is obviously pre-COVID. And walk out of there with like $300-$400 worth of groceries. And I'd go home. And my mom used to get mad. She's like, what do we need all this stuff for? My house. I mean, her basement, I had tons of stuff. Like the apocalypse could have happened. We would have lasted a while.
You were buying pallets of ketchup at your mama's house? Bro.
No.
That's mean to your mom.
I did. Anyway, long story short, I moved back to Florida. And about 6 months being back here, my mom calls me and she's like, hey. I'm like, what? She's like, can you come up? I'm like, yeah, why? She goes, I need to make a Costco run. I've run out of stuff. I was like, you yell at me the whole time I'm there about all the Costco stuff I'm buying, and now you want me to come and buy more. Okay.
Essentially, she was just going to use you for your membership for that one.
It was actually her membership.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't remember if it was hers or mine, but we had a membership together. So I got the executive membership and she jumped on.
Hey, real quick, do you have your Facebook live stream up on Facebook?
I can on my phone.
How come I can't? So I can't see that.
Go to my page. I'm looking right at it.
Me too. I'm at your page and there's nothing. I mean, that's nice, but mine doesn't have anything. I guess I just say that because like if someone comments or something, can you see it on Riverside or can you only see it in Facebook?
No, I think the comments are if someone's watching us in Riverside, they comment on Riverside. If they would comment on Facebook,
No one watches us on Riverside. They're going to be watching on YouTube.
So the comments are only going to come on YouTube or Facebook.
But we're not going to see them on our Riverside studio from Facebook or YouTube.
You have to have that platform open. Just make sure it's muted like mine is, because I'm looking at it and watching it. So if someone comments, I can jump on and be like, what up?
That's weird. I wonder if the streaming package allows all that stuff to come through while you're just in your studio, so you don't have to have the live streams up on the platforms themselves. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I don't know, Margot.
I don't know. I've spent enough dough, yo.
I don't know, Margot.
I will keep my phone right here, so if someone does want to comment, please comment. Say hi. What's up? What's up? What's up, all my friends? All my friends out there. Uh-oh. I don't have enough likes. We better buy some.
I think that's funny because, I don't... Like, there's all those packages and stuff, but I just do the Google Ads promos, and Google owns YouTube. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
You can't buy likes. You can buy advertising.
Right. Well, actually, I don't know if you can. You might be able to.
I told him you can't, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know. Look,
I don't even know if you can.
I'm not the SEO master.
That has nothing to do with buying likes.
That's what you're doing. That's what he says.
Okay. That's cool. Man, that's creepy, man. I wonder if he's there's a little camera back here in the lamp or something. Maybe there's a little
he's watching you.
Yeah, you ever wonder that? Like if someone has planted a camera or something, and you go to I don't know.
First time I walk past that camera naked, they're shutting it off and never watching it again.
Your 1,700 calorie body.
That's right.
Shriveled body.
My blazingly white butt.
That really...
I took my shoes and socks off yesterday. We were sitting out on the patio. Bob was smoking a cigar, and me and LA were just chilling. And he's like, dude. I'm like, what? He's like, turn them things off, because my feet from the socks, I wear socks all day.
Mm-hmm.
So from my ankles down are so white, and my legs are tan because I'm out in the sun all day. And I was like, what? I can't walk around backyards barefoot. Which... Funny story. First day I'm on the job. Actually, first meeting I went to, I said, what happens if it rains? He's like, you get wet. He goes, what I do is I just bring a towel and flip flops, and I just walk through people's yards with flip flops on. I'm like, first of all, I'm not walking dude, you don't even know what stuff is in people's backyards. I'm not walking in their backyard barefoot. It ain't happening.
Land you a coral snake.
Forget about that. There's like bodies in some of these backyards, I'm sure. I've been in backyards. I'm serious. I was in one. I was walking by, and this pool was all drained out. It was an abandoned house, and I guess they bought it to flip or something. And there was a pool, and there was like a refrigerator in it, and it like dirty, nasty, like ankle deep water and stuff.
Excuse me, there was a refrigerator in the pool.
I went through a refrigerator in the pool. And I'm like, I bet you there's a body in there, and I'm not the one to go down and check. That's the one that actually I couldn't get out because they put the freaking latch. They had an aluminum gate latch on a wooden gate, so when it's shut, it locked, and you can't open it from the inside. So I literally barreled through it, and I knocked their whole fence down. I didn't care. And anyway, so I'm out in my car, and some lady comes out of the house. There's condemned stickers on the windows. It's like, beware, there's radon, this is the other thing, this house is condemned, don't go in it, blah, blah, blah. And she comes out and she's like, you should have knocked on the door. I said, first of all, I talked to the landlord and I had permission to be in there. And she's like, well, that's how people get shot. And I go, that's how people get shot back. And she slammed the door, and I was like, yeah, that's right, crazy lady, go away. And why are you in this house? So I called the landlord. I was like, bro, you got people living in there. He's like, for real? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'll take care of it. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I think I told you about the time I was in a backyard and I almost tripped over a homeless person back there sleeping. And she like jumped up, and I'm like, no, I'm just measuring. She's like, okay, Mr. Fence Man, I'm just taking a nap. I said, okay. enjoy your nap. I'm just measuring. She's like, all right. She's like, you from around here? I'm like, no.
What's
She's
the
like,
what's the
I live
signal
up
Mark
the
wanted
road.
us to give?
I don't know, but I'm going to give you a signal. You want your sign?
No.
Here's your sign.
Bill
Oh,
Engvall.
I was telling you a story about the homeless person I almost shot.
I don't think you ever I don't think you ever told me that.
Bucky's.
Man, I've been tired lately, man.
Well, that's because you're out not being an executive operator. You're being a slave in a sweatshop.
Yeah. Can you imagine getting paid?
I was by your shop today. I was going to stop by and I go, he's not there. And then you were there. I could have stopped by and
No, I
harassed
wasn't
you.
there today.
Oh, well, then it's a good thing I didn't stop by.
I'll be there tomorrow.
I was down off the trail, down off Oak Ridge.
Ugh, gross, man.
No. I was go down Oak Ridge down to the other side of Orange, which is Belle Isle, which is a very nice little community.
Oh, yeah.
If you go down Holden, have you been down Holden?
Isn't that the real Guatemalan, Dominican?
No. I mean, maybe right by OBT, but if you go down Holden like you're going to Orange, so Holden's like the first
Let me see what
main drag off of I-4 on OBT.
Off of I-4. Okay.
I-4 on OBT.
Isn't that called Holden Heights?
No, that's the other side. Holden Heights is by Ivy and Paramore. But anyway, if you go down there like you're going to Orange Ave, like 4 houses before you hit Orange Ave on the left side, there's a horizontal wood fence.
Okay, there's Holden. Yeah, there's Orange.
Yeah.
If you go down Orange Avenue?
No, Holden just before Orange. Like 4 or 5 houses before Orange on the left.
In one of the neighborhoods there?
Yeah, it's right on it's right on Holden. It's the first house in the neighborhood.
Oh, I got you. Yep. Okay.
I did a nice horizontal job there.
Horizontal. What does horizontal mean?
The boards go horizontally versus vertically.
Well, I'm on Google Earth. I can't see what position the boards are. I can see one house having a bright white fence.
No, this is wood, so it would be beige. So if you a normal fence goes up and down vertically, horizontal is like the new thing. We use a different wood plank. It's like a decking board as opposed to a regular just wood board. A picket. It's a much thicker board. It's a strong. It's expensive. It's fancy.
It is amazing how nice that area is when if you go like a quarter mile in any direction, it's awful.
If you go back a little ways towards OBT, there's a neighborhood there with $1 million homes on the lake. And the first time I went in there was a car pulled off to the side of the road, and I saw it was what I'm assuming a boyfriend and girlfriend, but it was probably a hooker.
That's amazing that Lake Jessamine there is like.
Did you see the homes on it?
Yeah, I mean they're good, and then you get to the south side of the lake and like welcome to Shitville.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar homes.
See, that's the thing about like here, like that was like a major reason why we were never really serious about living in a place like Celebration, because I would never want to be in an area that's basically landlocked by hood. So, like, let's say you could afford to not live in the hood.
It's not landlocked by hood. It's landlocked by tourist.
Well, okay, let me put it this way: you're landlocked by Vine Street. Okay,
so on that side, the far side. We lived on the 429 side.
Right, but you leave your neighborhood, and that's what you get.
Well, I did. I would jump on the 429 and go to work. And Lorianne would jump on the 429 the other way and go to Ponciana.
Yeah,
and go to work.
But it's just nice, like you know where we are. I mean, imagine drawing a circle around where we are, like 5 miles, 7 miles. There's not a bad area at all within like a 5-mile radius. Like you go west,
I think you're pushing on the 5 miles. You go north, you're going to hit.
Well, okay, Colonial, sure.
No, what's the other road before Colonial? Winter Garden, Old Winter Garden. There's some rough neighborhoods over there.
On Old Winter Garden Road?
Yeah.
No, there's not.
It's my territory. I don't know anything about it. I've never been to it before, but it's my territory. Your neighborhood sucks. I'm going to let you in a little secret.
You suck.
There's no gas stations.
I know there's not.
Other than the Walmart, and my company card doesn't work at the Walmart gas station.
Your company card didn't work because you spent it all.
No, it's not my spending.
So I tell you that all the time about my neighborhood. Like, no one believes it, but like between where I live and Disney World is like 6 miles, and there's literally 300,000 people that live there, and there's one gas station, and there's no cell phone service.
There's the one gas station on the one road. What's the main drag?
Well, on 535 Daniels Road, there's a few mobiles and 7-Eleven. That's where I get gas.
There's the one by off of Independence, I think.
No, that's just Walmart.
No, there's one a little further down. It's a 7-Eleven in like a strip mall. There's a little weird gas station there.
On Independence Parkway?
7-Eleven gas station in Windermere. It's like the parking spots are gas pumps. It's on 535.
That's the mobile.
No, it's a 7-Eleven. It might be a mobile gas station. I don't know.
Okay, sure. Where there's
535. This is in Windermere, not the city, but outside, like on
535 in Lake Butler Boulevard, Tilden Road, like south of there.
I don't know, but there's a 7-Eleven there with gas pumps that are like built parking spots.
Yeah, that's the east side of my neighborhood. Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, that's
where I know if I'm low on gas and I see that station, I pull in there.
That's 1 mile from my house.
True.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
So how close do you live to Avalon?
Very.
Okay.
Like if I I can get out of my neighborhood and go on Tiny Road.
It's not a big road. It's tiny.
Yeah, it is. If I go north a half mile, I hit the T section at Tilden there. If I go left, if I go west on Tilden, I hit the exact corner of Avalon that turns from west to east to south to north, that little elbow. You know how Avalon has two elbows?
Yes.
So that we run up there on Avalon to get like Chinese food and pizza and all right up there. Like I can get to Stony Brook just as fast as I can get to Hamlin Grove. It's like 6 minutes, not even 4.
Oh, so you're between Stony Brook and Hamlin. You're not in Hamlin.
I'm exactly between Stony Brook and Hamlin. Exactly between. Perfectly between.
Are you by Fuqua?
Excuse me? Oh, Fouquet?
I don't forget about it. That's what I always say.
Fickett Road?
Forget about it. Fuqua.
Well, that's just Winter Garden Vineland south before it runs west to east.
And it runs into what's the neighborhood? Is that the backside of
It runs into Reams.
Right, but what's that neighborhood that it runs into? The backside. Is that Islesworth?
No.
Not Islesworth.
There's New Independence is the one neighborhood, and then the other neighborhood would be Summer Lake.
No, there's a big gated. You got to go through a security guard to get in there.
On Fickett Road?
I think so.
No, there's not.
Maybe I'm thinking of Butler. I don't know.
Lake now if you take Lake Butler, no, not Lake Butler. Yeah, Lake Butler Boulevard or Chase Road, west to east. That's just
maybe it's Chase.
That's like from 535 to downtown Windermere, whether you take Lake Butler or Chase Road, a ghetto shack is $1.5 million. Like, it's the insane most wealth you could ever imagine.
Islesworth is the backside of Islesworth is on Chase.
Right, and then the front side is off. The front side is off of Conroy Windermere Road, coming out of Windermere.
Yeah, it's right across the street from Lake Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Butler Sound. My friend lives in there. She got a big house.
Who lives in there?
Friend of mine.
Lake Butler Sound is where the Versailles house is. The house that's hadn't been built for the last 25 years, $100 million house.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the biggest house, the one there in Windermere? It's what's her name's house?
The Versailles is the biggest house.
It's Steven Seagal's ex-wife.
So here. You want to do share my screen time again? Because I don't think you have any clue what I'm talking about.
I probably don't. Is it on the main street? as you go through the S turns.
All right, so here's do you see my mouse where it says Chase Road right here?
Uh-huh.
You see, run that up to here's Shaq's house towards Windermere. So if you want to go to Lake Butler Sound, you go in this neighborhood right here.
Correct.
Check this out. Dude. So that's like 3 or 4 stories high.
No, that's not the house I'm talking about.
I know. I'm saying this is the $100 million house right here.
If you go back to Chase.
Yeah.
Follow it like you're going towards Lake Butler Sound. There's a house on a curve that's ginormous, like that one right there. I think that's
both of these are.
The guy who owns Westlake Resorts, that's his wife's house, his ex-wife's house.
But look at this. But look at what I'm saying. See how big this house is, but it's segmented with different wings?
Right.
Look at this. This is a solid version of that house.
How many square feet is that house?
Oh my! I don't know, but I guarantee if you take all levels, it's 40,000. I mean, that's just. I mean, so is this.
They haven't finished building it, huh?
I want to say she's finally almost done, but they were really close, and then the hurricanes the last couple of years like flooded it out and stuff. So she's going through laughing like, we got to redo all this and that. It's like, yeah, no big deal. But yeah, this house right here is. I know Shaq's house, the blue house, the roof here is 31,000 square feet.
Where's the Superman driveway? Did they take it out?
The gate?
No, he used to have his deck or whatever by the water was Superman.
Well, it probably's gone. I thought it was just in the pool, but would it be somewhere over here? Maybe. This is really creepy, but this is kind of like what I do have. Like if I get lost on maps, I just do this for a while. Then I'm just like, oh yeah, let's go through Keene Point here, you know? And it's just like, look at this. Every house on this golf course is just a bajillion dollars.
Yeah, but here's the problem I have with these neighborhoods.
And then over here you have Arnold Palmer and Bay Hill. Same thing.
Right. I like Bay Hill's nice. That's old money over there.
We almost rented a house there our second year.
So if you look over at Islesworth or Keene Point or Kings Bay or whatever, right? You look at those houses. They're $1 million homes, multi-million-dollar homes, and they're right on top of each other. I would not want to live there. No.
Right.
Can't do it. Not going to do it.
I mean, but then you go to my neighborhood and like it's way worse.
I like my neighborhood.
Well, yeah, because you still kind of live sort of rural. Look at this shack. Not bad. Me and my castle. It's my castle.
Yeah, but look, you can watch your neighbor's back out the window. It's so close.
Look at this shack.
Good Lord.
Do you realize this is at least 20,000 square? This is at least a $20 million home right here.
I'm sure.
I guarantee it. And look it's just like all the rest of them. $20 million home.
If you go in Islesworth, where's the main street in Islesworth?
$20 million home, $20 million home.
And then look at this little baby mansion next door to it, and that's probably 3 times the size of my house.
It probably is more. No, this is probably 7,000 to 8,000 square feet, and it's probably $6 million.
Ridiculous,
dude. So that is the main.
Where's the main street on Islesworth?
So this is Conroy Windermere. It's the top. So this is Isleworth Country Club Drive here.
If you go in there, there's a street starts with a W down here. I forget what it is. I just did a job there the other day.
Oh wow, there's a shack too.
We had to get the owner had to come out and
look at this little dump here.
Right,
not bad.
Not bad.
Look at all these little dumps. Not bad. This lake is absolutely redonkulous. Look at this dump.
You should buy it, I think.
Look at this dump with tennis courts.
No, that's the country club.
Not bad. I mean, this looks like Nassau, dude. Look at this little shack. It's got its own. This guy has his own peninsula.
Yeah, he spent a lot of money for that joint.
This joint here is probably $30 million.
Yeah.
Now, no offense. This is a dream home for everyone, but this same home in a more rural area like South Georgia is like $5 million.
Right.
So it's like, do you need to pay $30 million to be in Central Florida?
No. Nor would I.
Unless I had $3 billion, then I don't. Then the difference between $30 million and $5 million really isn't that much. It's like the difference between $5 and $20, like whatever.
Still not doing it. If I had that much money, I'd be leaving.
Yeah, I would too. I would build. I would do like Tyler Perry style, where I have like 100-acre estate with like a forest.
Airport. He bought an airport or an Air Force base or something.
No, he put a private landing strip in.
No. He bought an Air Force base. It was a retired Air Force base. Same that Kevin Hart did the same thing.
How can you do that?
They put it up for auction. They sell it. What do you know? Do you know Baldwin Park used to be the naval base?
No, I didn't know that. Is that
Yes.
East Orlando?
Yes, sir. Used to be the females' boot camp. Orlando, Florida was the females' boot camp for the Navy, and Baldwin Park, when it decommissioned, they retired it. They put it up for sale, and the city bought it and turned it into Baldwin Park.
That's cool.
Have you looked at Lake Nona?
That was just for you. What have I looked at Lake Nona in what sense?
Like, have you ever gone out there, like, to look at houses or?
Not to. So we had a dentist in Lake Nona, and then I've been downtown a few times, and I've driven around. I've never gone to Lake Nona to seriously look at homes. No.
You need like a passport. That place is ridiculous.
What does that mean?
To get there from my house, it's so far away.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close to my shop. 15 minutes.
Wedgefield Estates is far. That's a far drive.
I don't know what that is.
If you get on 50 and drive till you're almost in Cocoa, it's the last big community in Orange County.
It's still considered Orange County.
Orange County ends at the river, Indian River.
Orange County is massive.
Massive, because I'm in northwest Orange County, and that goes almost all the way out to Cocoa.
So Orange County has to be like one of the most populated counties in the United States.
What'd you think? Versus, you know what the number one, I think, populated county is? I think Jacksonville.
In the United States?
I think so. I think it's high up there. Look it up. You're Captain Google.
Yeah, I will.
You figured out how to work the Google machine on the interweb, did you?
Yeah, I don't want to become one of those tech people.
Yeah, you're a tech nerd. Stop it.
Not anymore, man.
Do you miss it?
I miss when I understood tech, yeah. Now I don't even understand anything. Code? What's that?
Can you write code?
Yeah, but it's irrelevant. I can only write like HTML and Java and C++. Like they don't even use that anymore. It's like all Python and Ruby on Rail. I don't know, all this stuff. I don't even know what it is.
So when computers first came out, I was going to actually go become a system administrator.
Basic.
I looked at system administration as a job.
Yeah.
And I was going to get Cisco certified and all that stuff. And I mean, holy cow, is it totally blown up since then.
Are you glad you didn't go down that route because of how much you'd have to keep up with?
Yep. Yeah. And I'd probably be like 900 pounds from sitting behind a computer all day eating Doritos and drinking soda.
Like that guy in South Park, the guy who's like the top gamer on Warcraft.
I don't watch South Park, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay, most
populated county in America.
Okay, this isn't even fair. Los Angeles is its own county, and it has 9.8 million people.
Yeah, Los Angeles counties. I forgot about Los Angeles County. What's Jacksonville? Maybe Jacksonville's most populated in Florida.
Maricopa is 3.9. Is that Jacksonville?
Maybe it's the largest county.
Is that Jacksonville, Maricopa?
No, Maricopa, Texas, Arizona.
So the number one. So Orange County is more populated. Wait, that's California. Dang it! Miami-Dade's 2.7 mil.
Okay. Orange County doesn't have that many. We're not even close. So Jacksonville County or Duval County?
Hillsborough County is 1.3. Tampa.
Yep. We almost moved to, or we didn't almost move. I shouldn't say almost, but we looked at St. Johns County.
Orange County is on the list, but I don't know where. I don't know. I can't find Jacksonville, so I don't know. I can't find Mecklenburg County. I think that's Charlotte, right? Yeah, that's a big county. Wow.
Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte, Florida.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Who the frick's calling me?
Who's calling you?
I don't know.
I just got 2 calls, 3 texts, and 4 chats. Like, guys, chill. Oh, it's 7:42. My goodness, man. My goodness.
Too bad. Call mom.
Wow, the live stream is so far behind like what we are.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know if they delay it because they worry about you cussing or you know what the largest country landmass is?
What?
Russia.
Wow. Okay. Isn't that kind of obvious?
I didn't realize it was that big. All right, the largest county, San Bernardino County, is the largest county. It covers 20,105 square miles. That's a big county.
Orange is huge, though, man. I just can't believe that. Wow.
A lot of bigger counties are out west. Wyoming, California.
You know why I think Orange isn't that populous? Because I think Osceola and Seminole are also, well, more so Osceola holds a ton of the population too.
I don't know. I don't know what's got more population or not. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with I think Orange has more population than Osceola. Osceola still has a lot of cowboy land.
It does.
And I think every square inch of Orange County, other than swamps and, you know.
It doesn't make sense that the county has like less than 1 million people, though, because that's, if you look up the CSA of Orlando, it's like 4.4 million. So that makes
That's how many people in Orlando.
What's that?
That's how many people are in Orlando.
The CSA is called the Combined Statistical Area. So essentially, Central Florida, like it's like a 25-mile Orlando radius, is like 4.5 million people. So how is Orange County? Like Orange County has to have 3-4 million people. It has to. It has to.
I don't know. I'm looking. Orange County is population 1.5.
I don't believe it. Not even close.
That's what it says right here. I'm looking at it.
What's the source in the year?
Largest.org.
Largest.org.
Yeah. It's number 5. Hillsborough County's 4. Palm Beach County's number 3. Number 2 is Broward. Number 1 is Miami-Dade. So I was wrong. I thought Jacksonville, Duval County was big. Per like square miles, like it was huge.
Maybe it's not.
I was mistaken.
Osceola is only like a 0.5 mil.
Yeah.
Orlando's only like 320K.
Yeah, everybody lives in Kissimmee and Osceola.
Right. But there's also probably 400,000 more people that aren't even documented. I'm positive. 100% sure.
I don't know.
Trust me.
I don't know. You know, and I was talking to a guy the other day. I'm not going to say who or where or how I know this person. About the whole ICE situation. Speaking of undocumented.
Who is it?
A guy. I was talking to a guy. Nice try.
Narrows it down.
Yeah. I won't say where he's from. He could be from Hispania. I love that, my friend. We were in a restaurant. And my friend says, he says, "Where are you from?" Oh no, he said, "What are you?" And the girl said, and my buddy's Puerto Rican, so he said, "So, what are you?" And she's like, "Hispanic," and he's like, "So you're from Hispania?" She's like, "Don't be stupid. I'm Mexican." I was like, "So then why don't you just tell me you're Mexican?" I mean, come on.
Yeah, that would be like us saying we're whatever our ethnicity is.
I'm Caucasian. So you're from the mountains of
Caucasia.
Caucasus.
I'm
The
Deutsch,
Caucasus
so am I from
Mountains.
Deutschland?
Deutschland. No, that'd be Germany.
Yeah, you're right. Netherlands.
Netherlands. My wife.
I just think it's so crazy how they
So
call
did you do
different
a
ethnicities like Asian or African Americans, because a lot of those people have been here longer than us. They're like more American than you and I are.
I don't know.
Well, let's say you're an African American and you're X amount of generations. Let's say your family descended from slavery from the 16 1700s. You've been in the United States for 300 plus years. I can tell you, I don't know about your family, but mine didn't come here until about the turn of the century, about 1900, somewhere in that ballpark.
I don't know. I mean,
So
I'd have to
if
go look at
that's
my
the case,
ancestry.
that means I am Dutch American
I'm Dutch. It's weird, no?
because I'm fresher off the boat.
Fresher.
I'm serious.
So if I was actually born to my parents, people are like, "What?" I was adopted. So if I was actually biologically of my
Clearly.
parents, then I would be second generation American because my dad was first generation American. My grandparents came over from the Ukraine. And then my mom was second generation Italian, so I'd be third generation Italian. Because my great grandparents came over from Italy. I was mistaken. I thought my grandparents came over from Italy. Everybody's been lying to me since I was a little kid. They're like, they came over to Ellis Island.
I literally just thought you said I was a mistake.
Well, some may think that. Best mistake ever happened.
So are you getting walloped on over there? We're getting
No, it's past.
we got a light rumble and a very heavy, steady rain.
Yeah, it came down here. There was a flood in my backyard.
Boy,
The
we
dogs
needed
were,
that
the
rain
dogs were
the
going
last few days.
nuts. The dogs were not happy. Let me tell you how hot and humid it was today. I was sweating like I stole something. It was terrible.
Why do you always look down at your phone?
Lorianne just texted me. I thought it was an emergency.
Oh, your coach is
It
going to be
wasn't.
screaming at you.
She was just showing me the Airbnb that she just got us.
Oh, for North Carolina?
North Carolina.
When are you going there?
June. I'm not going to say when I'm going. Then make people know I'm not home.
It's in June, though. Sometime.
Yeah.
Okay, because you got to tell me, because I got to make podcast plans.
Yes. You could do. You know what? Remember, I did an interview by myself one night because you were. I don't know. It was your time of the month or something. I don't know. What was your problem?
I was gone.
Oh yeah, you were on a cruise, and I did a show with James Law, Mr. Law. Julian. Why did I call him James? It is Julius.
It's Julius.
Just call me Julius. Anyway, yeah. So you need to do a show with. Maybe you and Chris could do a show. No,
I can do one. I can do one with my friend Mike in Massachusetts. He's a big ETF and financial trader guy. He has his own podcast too. He's actually very active on social media and got a little following. So I mean, more than we do. So
yeah, well, that's nice. Do it.
I could do that. That would be fun.
Do it.
Get him into the podcast world a little more.
How many shows has he done or does? Does he do it weekly, monthly?
I don't think he's really consistent with his own, but he'll go on other people's stuff because he's getting. It's funny because he's like, you know how someone like Guy Fieri is like one of the biggest food celebrities, but he didn't come from like formal food anything. You know, he had a restaurant and he's just had the personality, and they're like, you got to do this, and he's like, no.
Guy Fieri's a chef.
Right, but he's not like a classically trained formal. He's not like a Gordon Ramsay.
I don't know. I know he graduated from University of Las Vegas.
He just did a show with Joe Rogan about a week ago. Go watch it. So I watched it.
All right.
I'm going what Guy said for 3 hours a week ago. It's pretty accurate. The point was Mike is sort of becoming like this not formally trained financial banker world guy who, and he's my age, who has just actively invested for 20 years, and all of a sudden he's like making better than what most people make as a living passively from ETFs and dividends and all that kind of stuff. And he like rang the bell on the NASDAQ, and
Why don't you go work with him?
What do you mean work with him?
Does he have a Series 7? Is that how he sells?
I have no idea. I day trade on Trading View and Webull. So, but
Do
I
you
don't.
really?
What's that?
I said, oh, do you?
Yes, I have a cash account and a margin account. So, but
the craziest I get is I dabble a little bit in crypto.
You know, crypto's so volatile, so you can make a ton, but also it's just like, I remember one time I bought when Bitcoin was like 30 grand, I bought like 5K of it.
I kick myself.
And then it went up to like 60 and I had like 10K. And then like when COVID hit or somewhere around there, it like plummeted again. Like, well, not plummeted, but under 40. And I just said at that time, yeah, I guess I'll sell it. Like barely made anything. And now it would have been worth like, I don't know, 20 grand or whatever. But like, I don't like
Bitcoin right now is at 109,000, 108 just dropped.
Right. I mean, the volatility of crypto allows you to make money, also allows you to lose money. It also allows you to have to hold money for a long time if you don't want to lock in your loss. So I don't like that. Because if
I at one point,
if I guess a stock wrong, I can put a reasonable stop loss and lose a small amount and be okay with that. If I get a crypto wrong, I either have to lose my butt or hold it for 3 years. I don't want to do that.
When did Bitcoin come out?
Oh, it's been out forever. Probably 15 years.
When it first came out, I was probably just before it was right around the time I met LARINE, and I was putting $25 a week. I would buy a little Bitcoin. And at one point I had like $600 worth of Bitcoin.
Should have kept doing that.
Dude, I'm stupid because it was super cheap back then. And I'd probably be a millionaire.
Yeah, but that's so much hindsight because you know how many cryptocurrencies there are that you don't even know about? I know Bitcoin's going to be the one. You had no idea back then. The only people who knew were Bitcoin traders.
You have crypto that go crazy, and then you have crypto that
die. Yeah. I did have a guy, my friend Patrick, he lives in Munich, Germany, and I had him build me a crypto trading bot that would basically set profit targets and then stop loss limits. And it actually it does pretty good. Actually, it makes between 1% and 2% a month, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 12 to 24% a year. And that's a trade-off between Solana and Tether, USDT. But you can set it up for anything. But like,
I have XRP.
Yeah, right. I mean, everyone's talking about that right now. But my point is, you can set up trading bots for that, and you can do okay. But I don't really love it either because I can make 4% in a day, and then I can go literally like 6 weeks without making anything at all. So it's like it can still come and go in spurts, which I know that's the name of the game. But like for me, I have a lot more fun doing small day trades. So like with day trading, if I'm in a pretty good streak or I'm buying right or I'm shorting right, depending on the market, like lately it's kind of been a short, but today was a buy day. I can make 1% to 2% a day, which if you think of that, I mean, it's a lot, but luckily I don't deal with a lot, just a few grand right now. But I mean, if I had 100 grand in there, I could make a living off it easy. So eventually I'd love to do that.
Yeah, but would you rather, okay, here's all right. Hear me out. Would you rather put your money in the stock market, crypto, or buy a house that you can either turn and flip or turn into an Airbnb?
That's a very opinionated question because you can get more return depending on who you are, depending on what your preference is. For me, honestly, I am really bad at two parts of business. One, timing I'm horrible about, which sucks because I can predict anything, but I'll get the timing wrong, so it means it's worthless. And then two, proper delegation to the right people. So my point is, like, if I had 10 Airbnbs, I guarantee I'd be blowing my brains out with dealing with all the issues because I would not be able to find the right management group. That's what blows my mind, and I'm really envious of people who have, like, let's say you have 30 long-term rentals, right? And they're each worth 500K and they're all paid off. That's a lot of money, equity, but you're also getting like 3-4K a month out of them. I mean, I know when we landed in Florida, we had an AC problem like our second night at 11 p.m. and they got a guy here because they had a management real estate company. But like, if you don't have the right person, that's you dealing with that, and then your return is as good as a job. So, if you want me to answer your question, Zach, seriously, I would rather have a highly successful and profitable business, because a successful, profitable, cash flowing business can make you 30% a year on your investment, which is greater than most investments can yield, real estate included. So I would rather have a very high cash flow business with probably a little bit of just a traditional Roth IRA that invests in like Vanguard mutual funds, some ETF for dividend, probably some short-term vacation rental houses, and day trade for fun, and then a little bit in unsecured loan lending is probably what I would like to do. And I would probably get an average of 10 to 15% a year, which then just tells you, why don't you just throw it all in an annuity that can get you 10% a year without you doing anything?
Yeah, but the problem with a business, plus and minus, hear me from a non-business owner side. How do you know what you're buying is going to be profitable, or it may come out of the gates phenomenal, and then
that's the question. Ask the same question with any method of investing you could do.
Right.
You don't know. You have to be good at it, and
the
you
problem
have
with owning a business is if you really want the business to be successful, you got to be the slave to the grind for a little while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Like our marketing business that made me the most successful I ever was about, I would say, 3 years of 100 hours a week. Okay,
right.
It was go to the office at 6, come home at 4:30, work on the business till 10:30, watch TV, pass out. That was Monday through Friday. Saturday was get up at about 8, work on the business till 6, enjoy a little time with my wife, watch TV, and pass out. Sunday was get up at about 9, work on the business till 4, enjoy a little more time with my wife, work out, watch TV, and pass out. And Monday would start all over. That was like, I would say that was 4 years of my life just to create a little $2 million marketing business, but that had about a 35% EBITDA, so it paid handsomely.
That's not the one you and your wife, she ran, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were slaves to that. I mean, I was sitting there, I was on international trips with my wife, living it up in Paris and Tokyo and Italy and whatnot, and I was up at 5 working every morning and before bed. I mean, I was a slave to it just so I could make a couple grand every day, right, in terms of in my pocket. By the time I think it was October 2019 is when I partnered with a long-term website owner who I'd done business with for 3 or 4 years already. And we just went halvesies, and I had certain costs. He had a whole 50-person staff. And that's when I went from like literally that business taking 50 to 60 hours of my week, just that business, down to like 10. And so before Google, gave us a headache last year, I could spend 10 to 15 hours a week just developing new sites and watching a lot of cash come in. That was amazing. I was freer than I've ever been. And if I could maintain that for 30 years and just stick all the rest to annuities, that's all I'd do. It'd be boring, successful, carefree, no one in your ear, nothing.
The Google machine screwed you.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming back. I mean, we actually today, I'm happy to report, this is a big deal for me. I have purchased with my partner and developed the first website since late February of 2024. So just to put things into perspective, from 2019 to early 2024, I would buy and develop 5 to 7 websites every week, vacation or not. Okay? So we had like 1,000. That doesn't quite add up, but somewhere in that ballpark.
Why?
More money, grow business.
What would be on the business? What would be on the website that was making you money?
So they're all niche sites. One might be about health, one might be about business, one might be about travel, and then they get paid advertising offers from people that come in and say, hey, I want to post my ad here, I want to post my link here, we'll pay $100 if you do that in this article. Okay, cool, we'll write it, we'll give you a nice column write up, whatever. I had a whole team doing that. Once I developed it, 2018 2019 is when that all kind of went out of my hands and went to the team hands. So having that period was awesome, because I literally, my personal pay was 5 to 10K every week. My pay.
Right.
And I'm sitting there in frickin' Rome for my birthday, and all I got to do is get up 2 hours before my wife, develop 1 or 2 sites, and shower, do my emails, and the rest of the day is pure bliss. That was amazing. That was amazing.
So you bought another site today?
Yes, for the first time in over a year, man.
What kind of site?
So it is I believe it's like a e-commerce dropship, homeopathy, whatever you call that, the tinctures and the liquids and all the BS. But it's a site that gets a ton of traffic, and then it also has a content portion to it. So, we'll get content publishing, and then we can decide what we want to do with the drop shipping thing, because it's international. We can either scrap it or keep it. So,
okay. What's your thoughts on drop shipping?
Done a lot of it. I started in 2006, and I did it for about 5 years for health supplements, but that industry made it really hard for a little guy to do anything by that time.
You drop shipped your own stuff though, right?
What do you mean?
You weren't a third party. You didn't run the site and then a third party drop shipped and sent everything out.
Right. For the most part. I mean, I had some products.
I've looked at those Amazon businesses where you can become an Amazon.
Don't ever do those.
I haven't, first of all.
So I did sell my own stuff on Amazon, and I made a ton of. So I had probably like a 6-month stint on Amazon, and it was before FBA was really popular, the Prime stuff. And I think like in 6 months, I sold over 200K of stuff on there.
Right.
And their payment terms to me were net 180 days. And they took a 15% commission. So I think I literally out of 200K, like pocketed like 10K, and it took 6 months to get. It was awful. It was the biggest headache in the entire world. So I was like, no, I don't want to do this.
That does not sound like a good time at all.
No, but back before like the big health companies owned everything, I had like sold dropship supplements and stuff like that.
Still on Facebook.
What?
I said we're still live on Facebook.
Cool. And actually, like I did okay. I think 2010, I sold 500K of supplements online, and I had about a 30% margin, I want to say. So about 150K I kept, but then I also invested it back into search engine optimization for the site too. So I probably only took 50K of that in my pocket, probably.
Back in
2011,
2012, somewhere in there, I worked for a small boutique dealership, which has now become a rather large truck dealership. But that's just because the owner loves trucks. So he's kind of like, have you heard of Gibson?
Guitars?
No, Gibson World Trucks.
No.
In Sanford.
No.
They buy trucks, they jack them up, put big tires on it, and do all stuff, and then they turn around and sell them. My buddy does the same thing. Anyway, I helped him open this dealership, and it was a small boutique dealership. We were doing very weird and odd cars and hot rods and specialty stuff and motorcycles. And anyway, I was his, my label was GM, but I was the finance manager, and I was that's Mark's Airbnb, by the way. I just sent you.
Yeah, I got it. Looks nice.
It's huge. Anyway, I got onto eBay Motors, and I started selling on there. And the owners did not believe in it at first. And I remember I texted them one night. I said, hey, we had a Mustang. It was the Green Goblin Mustang. This guy painted it metallic green. And when you open the hood, it had the Green Goblin from Spider-Man on the inside of the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a limited edition. It had a whole bunch of crazy stuff in it. It was a really nice Mustang. It wasn't a hot rod. It wasn't like a Roush or anything. It was just a 5.0. Anyway, I put it on eBay, and this guy won the bid, and he was in New Zealand.
Okay.
And my bosses were like, "Yeah, good luck. Yeah, whatever." Next morning, I come into work, and my boss has got this Cheshire cat grin on his face. I said, "What?" He goes, "Dude, the guy just deposited the money in our account. He wired it in." He's like, "I guess you didn't get scammed." I go,
What about for shipping? Or is he just
"I
going to?
charged everything. Shipping was I had already
Well, you had to get a full container for that.
no, it went on a car container.
Right. But it's consolidated.
And so when you ship it, I mean, they tell you it's going to take 3 to 6 weeks to get there, and
But that must have cost him like $6,000 in shipping.
no, I don't think it was that much.
3?
I don't remember how much the shipping was, but it was
Dude,
maybe
this Mark's
maybe
house is
$1,500.
Mark's house is nice.
Yeah,
It
we
looks
were
like
looking at
Juji Mufu's old house.
we were looking at it for October. Anyway,
Beautiful.
so anyway, I set up the shipping, I set up everything. He put down the deposit. That's what it was. Contingent on, everything gets set up. You could not send him the paperwork. It had to be in the glove box of the car, which that was a little leery, but it had to go through customs. And supposedly customs in New Zealand takes the whole car apart, like rips the door panels off, everything.
Really?
Anyway, I sold my first car to New Zealand. And so after that, I got in contact with this guy in Canada. He was a lumber company, a tree company, and he would buy any pickup truck under $4,000, and he would buy between 10 to 12 at a time. And he didn't care if they ran, they were beaters, whatever, because they were tree cars. So the guys would be out in the woods, a tree might fall on one, they just leave it there in the woods, and it is what it is. And I would sell him a bunch, and then I had a Lincoln dealership that couldn't get certain Lincoln cars, and he would ask me to go to the auction. We buy him Lincoln cars, and I found all these people because they found me on eBay, and I started selling online. And I did very well, actually. I had a good time. I enjoyed it, and then
It's
I don't
changed a
know
lot.
if things changed. Yeah, like I don't know if the market changed or the people, but anyway, like my Canadian buyers drew. Now I had a guy. This guy, holy cow, we sold this guy so many minivans. Any Dodge minivan under $4,000 he would buy in any condition. He didn't
That's
care.
kind of creepy.
Well, he was shipping them to Poland. The minute they came out of the container, it was a minimum of $10,000. And he had buyers lined up for these vans. Like he could not get enough. I would buy minivans upon minivans.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because like larger vans like that, like stuff like that in a country, European country where most things are like diesel compact cars or e-cars.
Right.
Back in the day, especially. I mean, I talked to an Uber driver just a couple weeks back, and he said he made most of his wealth in his time exporting cars to Egypt because he knew people there, and obviously the demand was unique. I remember in the late
what the Middle East
90s,
likes?
in the late 90s, you remember the Chevy Astro minivan, the Blastro with the curtains and the GMC Safaris? That
I
was
had a
like
90,
the
I had a 94.
Japanese fire trend, and you could literally just count money and send them over there.
I had a 94
Heck yeah.
Astro van.
Did it have curtains on the window?
It was a Mark III conversion, so it had a little TV in it and the big cushy chairs, and it had the fake ladder on the back, which you're not going to climb on the roof. I mean,
How many kids did you pick up in that?
No, it's when I was married to my ex-wife. We had our kids. I was not cruising the school parking lots.
The Swedish.
No. But Middle East, I could sell motorcycles. They loved not Middle East. I'm sorry, Morocco. Morocco loved motorcycles, and the Middle East liked expensive cars. My boss got a connection. He was from Israel, so he would get stuff to Israel all the time, and they all wanted hot rods like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff like that. Where was the other place I sold other stuff to? Morocco motorcycles for sure. Ukraine or Poland was minivans. Oh, Puerto Rico. They loved the 1.9 motor on the Corolla or the Miatas. If I could get Miatas, They eat them up. I'd have people come and call me about Miatas, and they'd be like, "Can you ship it to Puerto Rico?" I said, "Of course I can." Jamaica liked, or the islands, they like the little the little samurai sidekicks. Remember the Suzuki sidekicks?
Yes.
They loved those because they were Jeeps, but they weren't expensive like a Jeep. So you could buy a Suzuki dirt cheap and sell it.
The little square box mini SUV, compact SUVs.
Lorianne had one in high school. She drove it for a couple weeks, and then she got another car.
Then it died.
No, her father was a car dealer, so she'd get a new car every couple weeks.
Well, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, she'd be at college, and she'd come out, and there'd be another different car in her parking spot, and there'd be a key and say, "Hey, your dad needed your car. He sold it, so here's another one." Yep. Must have been nice to get demos. I didn't get demos till I worked in the dealerships.
My dad was just depends how much you attach yourself to a vehicle, I guess. I would love it because I hate cars and I don't care at all.
I never owned a car longer than a couple of years, maybe.
Yeah.
The most. But when I worked for car dealers, I had a demo, so I drove whatever I wanted to.
I owned one car I had for like 11 years.
Nope.
One car. Well, I mean, I had another one that I bought prior to that too, but one of my cars I had, I put.
What was your very first car you got?
My dad gave me a 1991 or 1992 Ford Ranger. It was a 1.7 liter stick shift, and that's what I learned on.
Oh, a little handshaker.
To this day, I've never owned another manual transmission vehicle, but so I drive them very rarely. But I guess now once in a while since I have the shop. But to this day, I can get in any manual vehicle and drive it like it was. And people are like, "How can you do that?" You don't. I'm like, because I learned on the most difficult stick.
If I remember correctly, Ford Ranger's clutches were super short.
Yeah, so like the only way you could actually like get the car to move from a stop without cutting out is by punching the gas. Like the transition, you had to be so good.
Yeah, they were super short. I remember.
In learning on that thing, I mean, if you could learn on that, getting in like the bigger trucks after that was so easy.
So my parents didn't believe in automatic. All we had was stick. I learned how to drive a stick when I was like 12. I used to shift for my dad. When we were driving, I would shift. And which is funny because now I can drive on the English side. But my very first car was a 1984 Renault Alliance 5-speed.
Okay.
And I went to go take my driver's license test in it. 17 years old. Went to the DMV, and the DMV guy said, "Are you sure you want to drive a stick for your test?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He's like, you could drive another car if you. I said, I don't know how to drive manual. He said, or automatic. He said, "Are you serious?" I said, "I don't. I've never driven an automatic. This is all I've driven on." He's like, "All right, let's see how you do." So I took the test. I passed, obviously. And I drove a stick all the way up until probably 1995, because I had a 1995 Saturn SL. My first, lying to you, it was not my first brand new car. My first brand new car was a 93 Chevy Blazer Mini S10, the S10 Blazer 2-door. Oh, that was a cool car. And then I'd moved to Texas, and you didn't need a 4x4 in Texas. Everything's flat. So I traded it in for a 95 Saturn SL1. Talk about a car I could get out and run next to and just be as fast. But it was a safe car, and it got washed away in a flood. We were at a concert, and a flash flood happened, and
probably was the best for it.
It was a good little car, and my payments were a lot less than what my payments were from the Blazer. I loved my Blazer though. It had a metallic green, forest green, the dark green, forest green paint job, and it would change colors at night under the light and stuff like that. It was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so my very first car was the 84 Alliance. I wrecked that in the snow. I was out trying to show off with my girlfriend doing slides in the snow, and I hit a big curb and ripped the whole front end off. And I had a 1977 Volkswagen camper minivan. That thing was awesome. That brings memories in that car. Then the first car I actually bought that I paid for with my own money was a 78 Chevy Malibu. And then I traded that in for a 1988 Acura Integra GTS. And that got stolen. I was at my sister's college. We went to a party and someone stole the basket of keys, and my car was one of them that got stolen. We found it back, and they said it was a blessing because the car was probably well taken care of because Jesus stole it. No, Jesus was not a nice guy to my car. And then I traded that in for a 1988 Thunderbird Super Coupe. That was one of my favorite cars. It was so fast. Terrible in the snow. Terrible. It was not made for snow. And then I traded that in. That's when I traded that in when I met Debbie, and we had the kids, and we got the Blazer because we needed more room. And then I moved to Texas. She had I forget what it was, a Grand Prix or something like that. And I had the Saturn, and then we traded in, or no, we traded in and got an Astro van. That's when we got the Astro van.
Mm-hmm.
And we moved to Florida, and my parents brought me down a Volkswagen Jetta. And I drove it for a while, and I pulled into the car dealership to go look at a car, and the transmission exploded when I pulled in.
Seems about right.
They gave me about $1,000 for it, and I got this was a cool little car. I had a Suzu Rodeo.
It's like that's like the Suzuki.
It's like a Jeep, except it's the front's hardtop, and then the back you take off. I never even had the back. The back was brand new when I sold the car.
Looks like
the back was brand new. I never even
square compact SUV.
It was a cool little car. It was a 2-door. It was a lot of fun. And then you're thinking of the Rodeo.
I don't know. I don't really go. I don't go back that far, dude.
I did not have a Rodeo. I had an Amigo, a Suzu Amigo. And then I had a Pontiac Grand Prix. And then that's when I got into the car dealership and I started just driving demos. So I drove whatever the boss said I could drive. And then when I was the boss, I just took whatever the biggest car was on the lot. I liked either an SUV, or if they had a Mercedes or a Lexus or a Jag or something like that, that's what I drove. Actually, I really, Lorianne makes fun of me. She called me Grandpa because I used to love driving Cadillacs. I'd get a big old boat Cadillac. I love them things. There's nothing better than a big caddy. And now I got my pickup. I believe that this pickup, I believe that this pickup and this Bronco, I think that's going to be our last cars for a while.
You never know. Stuff changes.
Oh, if I hit the lottery, then I'll get me another Raptor R. That's what I want. The Raptor R. Have you ever seen those?
No, I don't. I'm going to be really honest. I'm in cars, but I don't pay any attention to cars. They just don't interest me.
The only car, and I think I've said this before.
I've had cars that people consider cool, but I know what's cool. What's cool is like
that Lexus you had was pretty nice.
Oh, it was beautiful, man. Like that was a great car.
Actually, your Range Rover is nice.
Yeah, I mean, once you have one of those, it's very hard to sit in anything else.
Wouldn't. So, have you driven an AMG, a G-Wagon?
Oh, those are awful.
Really? Why?
It's just a stat.
If I remember, they drive very heavy.
Have you driven a Jeep Wrangler or a Jeep Liberty? Okay.
Yeah.
So take that, put a much nicer interior, better lighting, and double the weight, and then the same ride quality, and now you have a $250,000 G-Wagon.
I will tell you this much. My wife's Raptor, that's a fun truck to drive.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was quite impressed with it.
I'm sure.
But my Raptor's even better because it's faster.
I'm sure.
It's got more horsepower. No, anyway, the Raptor R is the 700 horsepower.
Actually,
They said I could probably put a Roush on mine, a Roush package, and then I'd probably be up around 700. Like, I don't know if I want to do
not
that.
worth it.
700 horsepower out of a 3.5.
What are you going to use it for?
I'd rather have the V8.
I had a Jaguar F-Pace for a little while, the SUV.
When we were talking about actually SUVs, we were talking about them.
I think when I first met you, I might have still had that actually.
Well, we were talking about it when Lorianne before she fell in love with the Bronco. We were actually going to go look at the F-Pace. She liked them.
Yeah, they're cool.
But I've seen them. They're very small.
I mean, I think it was a perfect car for me because I don't really care. Like when I got that, it was actually just like a year or two, couple years before we moved here, and I was like, I thought they looked cool. Well, no, sorry, not really. I thought like I thought they were like different. I thought they were different looking, meaning like
Yeah, but
I just like I don't really like having a car that I see on the road every 10 cars.
That's why Lorianne's Bronco Raptor is
right. You don't see a lot
those.
Of you see the Bronco Sports all over, and you're like, that's a cute little Matchbox. But you don't see the actual big Raptors. I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen a lot of Sasquatches. I don't know if I've ever seen a Bronco Raptor with all the cars coming in my shop other than hers. I don't know if I've ever seen one.
Well, the car that
which makes it cool.
The car that she brought into the shop was a Sasquatch package.
I know. We do see those, but we don't see
Raptors like so much bigger. It's ridiculous.
It's very rare.
Very wide and very tall.
But
you got bigger tires than mine.
But the scarcity is what makes it cool in my mind.
Yes. Well, and here's this funny thing. Now that I drive a Raptor pickup truck, I see them everywhere. Everywhere I turn around, I see it. Oh, there's another black Raptor. Oh, there's a Raptor.
Yeah, I mean, those are not super uncommon, but that doesn't mean they're not nice, obviously.
Right. But the Raptor R is very uncommon.
Yeah.
Because they're $145,000.
I would actually like a Jaguar F Type, the little 2-seater sports car.
Yeah.
They used to make an SVR. Now I think they just call it S or R or whatever. But they used to be about 90. I think they've juiced up a little bit more, but they're not selling anything. So
what is the attraction to Jaguars with you?
I don't know. It's not. I'm not really that attracted to it. I like the design. It used to be the old man's car, the V12, the heavy, and now it's really the tin. They're not. They don't feel the same anymore. The F-Pace feels like a normal SUV. It's nice, but it doesn't feel that much different than like like if you had a really nice. I forget what the nice trim is of like the Chevy, but like if you had the top trim Chevy Equinox, it would feel like the F-Pace, you know.
My father-in-law had an Equinox, that one you're talking about, the ST or whatever.
Right. If you had that, I mean, that would be like, okay, you would get in that in the F-Pace, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. In fact, the GM would have better connectivity.
Actually,
it would have
the nicest car he had, and my father-in-law was a car guy. He had 8 dealerships and everything he drove. The nicest truck that he bought before he passed away, he had a fully loaded Kia Telluride.
Oh, those are beautiful.
I was blown away. It had the captain's chairs in the middle, so it wasn't a bench; it was captain's chairs. And the inside, it was like being in a limo. I mean, the leather was amazing. It was a beautiful truck. Oh my gosh, I was blown away how nice it was.
Those are.
Is it a Kia? Yeah, the Hyundai's the Palisade. Yeah, it was a Telluride, so it was a Kia.
The highest trim level of a Kia is the SX, the Prestige SX.
Yeah, that's what
I hate those. You want to know why I hate those?
Why?
Because they are exactly the same as our Range Rover, and they're a third of the price.
Of course, dude. You think them Koreans don't know what they're doing?
They look like it. They feel like it. They're like $60,000, dude.
You know what I saw the other day? Have you seen the Range Rover Discovery?
Yeah.
Have you seen a 2-door?
You talking about the Defender or the Discovery?
Maybe it's a Defender.
The Defender's the more boxy square one that's kind of closer to look like the Bronco.
And they make a 2-door now.
Well, they have for a while. They make a 2-door, a regular, and a long.
I never saw one. The person pulled into
They
church
make
the other
three.
day.
They make 3 links.
I looked at it. I was like, "What the heck did it?"
It's sporty as shit.
Did they wash it in hot water and it shrank?
It's sporty.
Okay, but you know I'm a car guy, right?
Yeah.
I've been around cars all. Do you know what my favorite car is? That the only car that matters to me. Everything else an iron sled.
I'm sure I do. I just don't have the recollection to pull it out of my memory.
Bentley Continental GT.
Oh yeah, sorry. You haven't talked about that in probably months.
So
it doesn't. It just you don't remind me of a Bentley Continental GT.
No, that's why but it's so much fun.
I think of you as like the Bronco Raptor, like a little more meat behind it.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm a truck guy. I like my truck, but the Continental GT out of every car I've ever driven is just a solid it's such a nice, powerful machine.
When did you drive one?
At the dealership. We'd have everything. We had Ferraris, Lamborghinis. I've driven everything.
I won't touch it.
The only car I haven't ever driven, I don't think I've driven $1 million Bugatti.
No.
They're
not $1 million anymore either. Like the lowest Bugatti's like 2.1 million.
Yeah, I never drove one. And I think I tried to move a Lotus and I couldn't get in it. It was too small. They're so tiny.
We had just in the past couple of weeks at our shop, we had a Ferrari, an Audi is it R8 or J? The real rare one. I forget they don't even make it anymore. It might be the R8,
like the sports car one. It looks like a sports car.
Oh, it looks like a freaking like a
race car.
Yeah,
that's the A8.
No, that's not the A8. The A8.
No, the A8's the big boxy one. The big custom.
I think it's the R8.
R8, yeah.
Very very rare.
Remember the Acura NSX?
Yes.
They looked like that. They were like sports cars. They look like Formula One cars.
Yeah, they're just super rare. They're not like they're probably 200K, so they're not as much as like a Ferrari or whatnot. But they're just to me they're cool because they're cooler to me because they're so rare. So we had one of those, and then the other day we had a McLaren 720S, which was pretty cool because we don't get a lot of supercars. So
right.
So we're starting to see those trickle in a little bit, which is great news.
So what is the deal? Everybody buys a Cybertruck, and every Cybertruck I see is, I won't say every, but majority
half
of them are
wrapped.
Is it because they don't like just the silver?
Well, I think it's like this.
Because Cybertrucks don't offer any other color, right?
Right.
Okay.
I think it's twofold, but I think the main thing is: have you ever bought into a craze where everyone started with the same template, and the thing was to customize it? So American Doll, or American Girl Doll, or Barbie, or Roblox, or like
I haven't transitioned to that side, so no.
I know, but like I don't know what a male version is of like a Barbie, but like something that you can buy that's a basic template and dress it up how you want. I think the draw with a Cybertruck is first it was scarcity, and then that died real fast. That went from like 300K to 70K. But I think for people, it's like, hey, I can buy this, but I can make it. So we have a customer who has 2 Cybertrucks, and we've wrapped both of them. And both times he wanted he's like, I want to go for this theme. So one theme was a very American version, like military green. And then one theme was like make it look like a Desert Storm tank. Okay, cool. We got a khaki beige.
Is he in Windermere?
Huh?
Is he in Windermere?
No, he lives, I don't think so. I think he lives in the sticks. He's he's like you. He wants to be kind of like.
I could have swore I saw one.
Well, I'm sure there's other ones that have the same thing that we've done. I'm sure, but he wanted like the U.S. Air Force stickers and all like the camo and the emblem. So we just buy that stuff and we can put it either under or over it. And like I think people just want to theme it, right? Because if you buy it as it is, you're just another person. But if you theme it your way, then like you're unique. And that's why you'll see a lot of them with like the LEDs too.
Lorianne says all Teslas are vanilla. They all look the same. They're bland and boring.
I agree. I hate Teslas. I'm not saying anything about owners or like I just don't. They're not my thing.
Well, the Cybertrucks to me look like door stops.
They're just not my thing.
Right.
But I don't.
So,
what
do you think? Do you guys get Rivians in there to get
wrapped?
Or?
Yeah,
I like Rivians.
Chris just had one that lemoned out on him.
Really?
Yeah, you got
I hear
screwed.
Rivion's in trouble.
Oh yeah, I mean those trucks cost them like 140K to make each one. They lose like
Yeah.
50K on every truck.
Yeah.
Not 50, but 30 or 40. Yeah, everyone who was subsidized by the government and didn't have, so GM's not in trouble because their multi-billion-dollar loss of EV that's no longer going to be subsidized is just, to them it's almost a relief because they can write it off and go back to making profitable vehicles, right? But if you're Rivian and you can't compete on economies of scale like Tesla and make an efficient, profitable vehicle, you don't have any other profit line. So if your subsidies go away, you go away because not enough people want Rivians. Because not enough people don't want Rivians, not because they don't love them. It's because no one wants to maintain it. Do you know how expensive it is to maintain a Rivian? It's ridiculous.
No, but I saw a Rivian
It's worse than
service guy.
a Bentley Continental.
I saw a Rivian service guy.
Yeah.
They pull up in a Rivian truck and they go work on the truck in the guy's driveway, which I know Ford does that now too. But you know what's getting very popular?
What?
The new Hummer EVs.
True.
I'm seeing them a lot more.
True.
I don't know. I don't know that I would want one or not want
Although
one.
their
I'm not
muscle car EV stint was a failure, thank goodness. Obviously, like I don't know whose bright idea was that we're going to make all our Camaros EV. That's an amazing idea. So that means you'll sell zero, you idiot. I don't think that was I think that was an intentionally dumb idea to capitalize on subsidies because there isn't anyone in their right mind who would ever think that's ever a good idea.
What did you think of the Ford EV, the Mustang? It's supposed to be the Mustang Mach, whatever. It's not.
We actually saw a lot of them when they first came out, and now I never see them anymore.
Right.
I don't know. They probably discontinued making it.
My friend's the GM of the Ford dealership where we bought our Bronco and my Raptor at, and he drives one, but because he lives in Orlando and works out on the coast,
right?
So he's like, "Why am I paying for gas? I'm going to just drive one of these."
I mean, I know people who have them and they like them and they're reliable and they're fine, but I don't know a lot of people that have them anymore. So I'm not an EV dude. I'm a hybrid dude.
Well, I've got a lot of people who swear by them, and I got a lot of people who, they want that smell of gas or diesel. So
yeah, I like the octane, but in terms of like what makes sense for clean energy for America, for mileage, for technology where we're at right now, the answer right now is hybrid. And even plug-in hybrid if you want, that's fine. But hybrid is the answer.
Hybrid meaning like it runs on gas, but when you're going less than 25 miles an hour, it's electric.
Meaning when you're not accelerating to a certain part, your regenerative braking and cruising is all electric motion. So you're only using gas on periods of extreme acceleration.
So I drove a Prius for a little while. I had a company car. It was a Prius.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it. And that was maybe this was before what you're talking about, but like only 25 miles or less, it would go into electric. Now it would generate while I was driving. So when if I was driving through the city, then I'd be electric. But the minute I gave it gas over 25 miles an hour, it went back to gas.
Yeah, I used to drive the Lexus RX 400H and then 450H. It was my favorite vehicle I've ever had by far. No contest. No contest. You got a V6 with 300 some horsepower. You had a smoother ride quality than the Range Rover. I'm not kidding you. It was smoother than the Range.
Really?
And it was
Range Rover make EV?
Hell no. Cheers, mate. And it got like, if you drove it around town like a grandma, you could get 33 miles to the gallon, which is insanity. And I would just put premium in it because I wanted a really good ignition. I wanted a good high octane, easy start. And I'll tell you what, those are the best vehicles I've ever had. I miss them. In fact, I only got rid of them when I just stopped driving a lot, and I just needed to there's only one reason I ever got rid of Lexus ever. Two reasons. One, because the dealership back where I'm from were just dicks. They were so pompous and arrogant. It was awful. Two,
the one you got rid of down here is you made money.
Well, two, when my wife started doing Range Rover, Land Rover, then I went to Jag because it was the same dealership. And I was like, okay, I'll get one in. I liked the car. It was fine. But then 3, yeah. I mean, here it was like I had a car with a lot of equity, got rid of it, and got something for the purpose of the shop. But every Lexus I've owned has been absolutely immaculate, phenomenal, way underpriced, and way too cheap to maintain. Ridiculously comfortable, the top end quality, top end luxury, as good of luxury as any Beamer or Mercedes, better. Not tinny, beautiful ride quality, perfection. Perfection. I mean, I don't know why. I literally don't know. Like, if someone just said to me, like, buy the vehicle that is perfect for you, it would be a Lexus of any kind. I wouldn't even think of anything else.
I like Lexuses. They're very comfortable to drive. I think they're an overpriced Toyota, although Toyota's pretty proud of their own product.
Goodness gracious, maybe you think that, but do you realize that IS350 F Sport I had?
They're the same thing.
Do you realize that IS350 F Sport I had was a MSRP of $45K and it was 51 because that was back when they could get more, extort you for money because cars are rare. Do you know that car's in the same class as like the BMW M4, which is like 85, and I drive every car you can think of.
So what is that compared to in the Toyota? Is that a Camry or a Avalon?
No, it would be a Camry TRD
Sport.
version.
Camry Sport or TRD, yeah.
The highest end trim of the Camry TRD or XSE.
So I went into Toyota the other day because
dude, a Camry TRD is $40K. So
right,
what are you going to pay an extra $5K and you get a Lexus? And guess what? It is better.
I said they're a good car. It's just, but it's a Nissan and Infiniti.
I'm just saying, Lexus. If you compare
Honda and Acura, you pop the hood, it says Honda.
Hear me out. If you buy an RX 350 versus a Toyota Highlander, it's only like a $5K difference. So it's only like 10. Like everyone says, everyone thinks in their head Lexus is $80K and Toyota's $20. No, dude, it's like 10% difference. It's not. Toyota's the most underpriced luxury vehicle you can buy by far. Lexus.
I don't knock them. I think they're good cars. I like the Acuras. I like the Integras.
I would say Acura would be in the exact same class.
Acura and the Infiniti used to probably be up there, but I don't know if they are anymore.
Well, no, they actually made a comeback.
Yeah,
Infiniti SUVs are beautiful.
You know who's trying to make a comeback but going younger is Lincoln. Have you seen the Lincolns? They're very stylish for kids.
Honestly, they've got about 7 different SUVs, like ridiculous amount of classes, just like BMW, and they're all beautiful, well-run cars. And the Navigator, I would rather ride in a Navigator than an Escalade any day of the week. They're so comfortable; it's unbelievable.
Oddly enough, one of my favorite vehicles that I had was a Ford Expedition. I'm sorry, below the Expedition.
Explorer.
No, it wasn't Expedition. It wasn't the big one, not the Excursion. It was the Expedition. I had an 03 Expedition. I really, really liked it. It was a good truck. It was solid.
Oh yeah.
I never really liked BMW SUVs. I felt they were just too heavy. You knew you were driving it for sure. But to each his own. I've never been a real big Mercedes fan. I like Lexuses. I hear they're, a quality car. You never have any problems.
They're the best.
I like Genesis.
Right, but I mean, time tested and true. I mean, Genesis is a great car.
So I got into the auto industry in 1992, and that's when Lexus came out.
Right. So you got almost 35 years now.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
All I'm trying to say is that you can't match the luxury and quality of any other vehicle for the Lexus price point. Because they're considered second-class luxury, but the reality is, if you compare it feature to feature...
Have you compared the Genesis?
Yeah, I mean, Genesis, I would say, also is considered second-tier luxury, but it's more luxurious than a Mercedes.
My friend hates them because he says they're Hyundais.
Well, they are, but that's a well-built car now, so get over it.
100%.
Just like a Kia is one of the most well-built cars now. They used to be a piece of shit.
Kia and Hyundai they own each other.
Yeah. So
they go down if you look at their models, they're so close to each other.
So these cars are considered like a second-tier luxury, but if you actually compare them feature to the first tier, they're better. And if you drive them, if you drove my IS350 F Sport and then you drove a Mercedes CLA, whatever the equivalent class would be, you would get in it and you'd be like, this is a piece of crap tin can. You would. It'd rattle all over the place and feel like a freaking Nissan Sentra. Same with, I mean, now BMW M4 will feel meaty and all, but when you just look at all of the features, it's like there's nothing that Lexus doesn't have.
I have, like I said,
toe to toe. It's just it's not as fast, but
I've not been a huge BMW fan.
No, it's fine. Just
my,
not
my buddy swears by them, but I'm just not. You know, it's not that they're not good cars. I don't know them. When I worked for Saab, we had the BMW store attached, and everybody used to, you know, everybody would want to go buy a BMW, but whatever. I preferred the Saabs. If you've driven a 9.3 Aero,
Yep,
6-speed, that is a fun car.
They were cool. For a minute, they were cool with us too.
And then GM took them over.
Play the sound effect. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, when GM took over Hummer and Saab, you know, the greatest thing was we had the amazing freaking leasing going on, and I sold cars like hotcakes. But then GM blew it. You know, GM, I think, well, they needed to clean some of their lines up. They got rid of Pontiac. I was surprised they kept Buick. Buick's still out there. Actually, Janet.
That's what I think about GM. This is what I think about GM losing money. General Motors, I hate you. You suck.
When GM and was it Chrysler Daimler?
But they do have incredible connectivity, I will say.
When GM and Chrysler and Ram and Dodge and all took money from Obama back in the day when everything was falling.
You mean from us?
Yeah. When he did the cash for clunkers and ruined the used car market.
And you know what they did to us suppliers? They grabbed us by you remember in the Bible where the master grants the server grace from his debt, and then the same servant, I think I said server, the same servant goes to his servant and then chokeholds him and squeezes the pen, takes him upside down and shakes all the pennies out of his pocket. That's what GM did. They went to our government and they said, grant us grace, and Obama bucks, courtesy of Zak and Derek's income, fed them really nice, and then they turned around to little companies like my grandpa's and they chokehold us for money. And we said, you know what? F you.
Right.
We hate you. You suck. And
well,
we hope someone else comes along that can feed us.
The only one that didn't take money was Ford, and that's why I had a very big respect for Ford.
Yeah, their cars just suck, but no offense.
I drive 2 Fords.
I know you do.
And their warranties are phenomenal.
They have to be, because you'll need them.
I mean, I blew a turbo.
Yeah.
And
you'll need it. At least you have it. We'll need it for the Corvette too. Trust me.
How is the Corvette?
It's fine.
Beautiful.
It's cool. Still needs a lot of work, but well, dude, I'm dinner time, man.
We've done a car show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the No Brainer Car Show. If you're looking for a car, we can direct you in the right direction on what direction not to go directly. So just use your GPS.
Lots of experience.
I've never been in the car business. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, what would you know?
What would I know? Yeah. What do I know?
All right, man.
All right, bro.
Dinner calls.
Well, as always, fun doing live. Thursday night, guys, tune in. We're going to be doing a recorded show. It'll be posted on Friday. We're going to be doing a show with Lorianne's cousin, Ginny. She is a female entrepreneur. Obviously, she's a female. She's an entrepreneur out in Arizona who has turned a real estate business. I mean, everybody. She's in like magazines. It's just blowing people's minds how amazing she is.
Did you send me her info?
I sent you her Facebook. I can send you more info.
Okay.
I'll send you her website.
Okay.
I think it's called the Right Realty. Anyway.
Okay.
All female real estate, and they kill it. they are like notorious, like gangsters in Arizona. So she's going to be on the show. She's going to be spitting wisdom in our ears on how to become part of the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
As long as she's not spitting in our ears.
Well, she can be, because I have headphones on, so she can spit all she wants. It won't touch these ears. Why did my mouse die?
Mine did too. I told you you're using USB overload just like me.
No. My battery. That's what happened.
All right, Joe.
All right, Schmo. I will see you on the flippity flop. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in live. Ooh, please conversate with us next time. Tell me I'm a douchebag. I don't care.
Or me, I don't care.
Tell Derek he's a douchebag.
I'd love it.
No, nothing. We love haters. Derek, go buy more likes.
All right.
Until next time.
On it.
Peace.